Hey Swayers, it's Karnik. Thanks for joining me again. It's your buddy and pal, Star Wars Armada Explained. We're going to be looking at the Super Star Destroyer title Executor. Executor, Star Wars names. They're hard. I think I've covered that before. So the Executor title, you'll see there's a little dot or bullet point in front of its name. Signifies it is unique. You can only have one of them in your fleet. How do you know it equips to Super Star Destroyer? Well, it has a picture of one, but bottom left hand corner of the card you will see the icon for it as well. It is faction specific for the Empire, which you can see there next to its point cost, which is 2. So the Executor, it reads, you can be assigned, and when it says you, by the way, it means you as in that ship specifically. You can be assigned any number of command tokens of any types instead of a number of command tokens equal to your command value. So remember, in Star Wars Armada, you can only typically have one token of each type, of which currently there's only 4. You can only have tokens up to your command value, which the Super Star Destroyer has a command value of 4, meaning that normally it can take one token of each type. So what does the Executor title do? Well, it allows you to gain more tokens. As many tokens as you want. You can have 100 tokens on that thing if you could somehow manage that. And they can be as many of any types you want to put on there. You want 5 navigations and 3 repairs and 2 concentrate fires, you can have them. Pretty much, you're not limited, and you can have as many command tokens as you want. Now, you do have to be careful, though, because if you do draw that one critical card, what is it? What card is that? The, where is it on here? Let's see if I can highlight it. Oh, don't ever draw life support failure. This one right here. Discard all your command tokens. You cannot have any command tokens. That would be an awful one to draw. Don't draw that one, because you can totally know which ones they are. All right, so of course to walk through, how does this title work? And I mean, I've already pretty much straightforward said this is how it works. You can have as many command tokens of any types as you want. It's very straightforward for 2 points. Now I'm going to walk through just some interesting, unique things that you can find with this title. So remember, the Super Star Destroyer, when you reveal its dial, and that when I say reveal, I mean its ship dial, you automatically gain the dial and the token. So, for example, if you reveal a navigation command, you automatically get a navigation token on your ship. Let me pull out the actual piece, because we're going to be doing way more tokens than what I think this will be able to handle. I'll just pull them all out. Perfect. So when you reveal the dial and token, you can put a navigation token on your ship automatically for the Super Star Destroyer. Now, if you want, you could also take that dial and then declare to turn that into a token as well, if you so want to. And then you have 2 navigation tokens on your ship, or 2 tokens of, essentially whatever you had revealed. If you wanted to turn that dial into a token, that is. So that's how you could get multiple tokens on there. So let's say that you did put a, reveal a navigation, you got the dial and token, you decide to use the dial. No problem. Let's look at some other combinations here. Let's talk about Tarkin. Tarkin, is he great on the SSD? I don't think so in the 400-point games, but in the larger point games, you might see him with this title. Because what you can do is at the start of the ship phase, you give every ship, a token of your choice. So it could start, the SSD start with a token that it wants. So you could, again, if you gave every ship a navigate token, and then if it reveals a navigate tile, you could start, with a second navigate token, have the dial token, or the dial, you could also turn a token. You could have 3 navigate tokens. I don't think that ever would be too helpful. I don't think you ever want that many navigate tokens on an SSD. But that's something Tarkin can do. Thrawn. Now, Thrawn, remember, his dials are gained. So when a SSD reveals its ship dial, it gains a Thrawn dial. So Thrawn dials don't give it the dial and token, because again, as it says in the SSD RNG, It's only on its dial that it reveals. And again, Thrawn dials are not revealed, they are gained. Very specific differentiating wording there. But if you wanted to, you could turn Thrawn's dial into a token. So you could reveal the ship's dial, which is navigate, and Thrawn's, which is navigate, and you could still get, again, 3 navigation tokens. Okay. Let's look at, for example, Commandant Asenko. Orinsko? I don't remember how to pronounce his name. He's hard. When another friendly ship at distance 1 to 3 reveals a command, you may exhaust this card to gain 1 command token of the same type. So typically SSDs are supported by Flotilla. So for example, Flotilla, if it reveals a navigation dial, you could exhaust him to gain that navigation token, and then that Flotilla, regardless if it has if it has CommsNet, it could then send over its navigation token as well over to the SSD, or again, any token combination you can think of. But then again, you're taking up an officer seat on this SSD with someone like him. Same deal with Taskmaster Grint. So whenever you reveal a command matching that token, you gain 1 matching token. So again, going back to when the SSD reveals its own dial, for example, if it's a repair dial, you get dial and token, and then a second repair token with Grint. But again, only with Executor. If you did that with him, you can't carry more tokens than what you reveal. But with Executor, you would be able to get the repair dial and 2 repair tokens. With Wolf, if you spent a token, you can exhaust this card and you can get that token of the same kind back. So if you did, for example, spend a repair token, you can exhaust him, get that token back, and again, you can keep stacking up more tokens. I do want to point out, I realize I haven't mentioned this, I do want to point out, remember, as it says in RRNG, commands can only be resolved in one of 3 ways. You spend a dial, you spend a token, or you spend a dial and token together. There is no dial, token, 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 token. Again, you can only spend 1 token, period. No more, no less. You can only spend 1. So it doesn't matter if you've got a repair dial and 15 repair tokens, you can only spend 1 of those repair tokens. So why have all these tokens? What benefit could that possibly give you? Well, if you brought something like the defense or weapons liaisons, where it requires you to spend a command token to change your command to either a concentrator squadron for weapons or navigate and repair for defense. So if you're the Executor, you already have tons of tokens that you can't already utilize. If someone comes up to try to dial manipulate you, guess what? You've got these liaisons here, and you can turn the dial to whatever you want. Essentially, it helps with your, against slicer protection, or like Cham. So it's just, dial protection. I definitely would recommend one of these officers if you are going to take the Executor, or even if you're playing like a higher point game where you do have that 4th officer seat where you can put one of them on. I think that they potentially could have a role on Super Star Destroyer. Another reason why you would want all those repair tokens, well, Lyra Wessex, there we go, Lyra Wessex. Her ability is, if you're dealt a face-up damage card, you can spend a repair token and you can flip that card face down without resolving the face-up effect. So essentially you draw the card, it's face up, you take the repair token, you spend it, you turn that card face down, you don't resolve the face-up effect. So if you have a bunch of repair tokens to spare, because again, that spending of that token modifies the ability, so you can actually keep spending those repair tokens over multiple attacks, because you're not resolving the repair command, you're just spending the token to modify its usual effect to something else. So that's okay. That it does allow for that. But again, then it just comes back to, why not just take Damage Control Officer when you have double contain on your Super Star Destroyer and not worry about taking any critical effects at all. But I guess that could be useful if you're overlapping asteroid fields or getting rammed or something like that, I guess that's some potential possibilities. So that's the Executor title. So again, normally you'd only be able to take 4 tokens of one type each. It allows you to take as many as you want in multiples of the same type. So I think that's interesting, and I think potentially we could see where this being very useful again is in larger point games and when you have fleet commands on the Super Star Destroyer and you need multiple tokens that be triggering multiple fleet commands depending on which variant you're bringing to the battlefield. Then that's Executor. As far as I'm aware, there's no other crazy interactions or crazy things going on. I just wanted to make sure I was pointing out, the use of all these tokens and things. Oh yeah, I have Piet up here because Piet, he allows you to spend just a token, as I've covered, and you can turn just a token and resolve it as if you had spent a dial. But again, you're only still spending just a singular token. You can't do dial and token with that. But I mean that's useful to have a bunch of tokens stacked up in case you need flexibility with what he has. That's Executor. Of course, if you feel like I got anything wrong, if I missed anything, please be sure to point it out. Let me know. I try to make sure I'm presenting all the information correctly, and you guys make sure that you're helping me catch any small little things that I miss as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hey, catch you next time.